When you're doing experiments like this, it's always good to have like a foolproof side that you can just fall back on just in case things go south. So we're making some mashed potatoes here, and when you're doing this, if you need to figure out how many potatoes that you want to use, think about how many baked potatoes you would eat, and then maybe add one or two more potatoes. That I'm starting with peeled potatoes here, just cubing them, and then I triple rinse these to get all that extra starch off, because these are russets. They are slightly starchier than Yukon Golds or something like that. And once that water runs clear that you're rinsing, we're going to cover these about an inch over with water and then add a little bit of salt and bring them up to a boil. How long they cook is going to depend on how big your potatoes are, how much you've got in there, and a whole lot of other factors. But a good rule of thumb is going to be checking them at about 15 to 20 minutes. Now onto these steaks. These are deer steaks and they're cubed. They run them through a machine a couple of times and it mechanically tenderizes this meat. The problem with that is you can't really just like grill it to a medium rare. It's kind of along the same lines as ground meat because it's been ran through that. The good thing about it is it does tenderize this very well. These are very tough cuts of meat off the hindquarters, and we're just going to hit them with some salt, pepper, and some garlic powder here. And then we're going to batter them and try to fry them in the air fryer like country fried steaks. We are generously seasoning both sides of these pieces of steak here, and then we're going to set these to the side while we work on our batter. Now, our batter is going to be flour based, so we're starting with flour, of course, and then I do everything to taste, guys. I've got some Tony Chachere's here, some black pepper, some salt, and a little bit of some garlic powder and crushed red pepper that I've made. And then my like secret ingredient here is some MSG. Guys, if you've got dishes that are good but you feel like they're missing something, like I was kind of late to the party on MSG, but try some MSG out and just see if it helps. Again, we're doing all this to taste, so you have to taste it. If it needs something else, put more in it. When it starts tasting good, stop putting stuff in it. It's done. And then we're going to just batter these up. I am double battering these, so this will be seasoned flour and then an egg wash and then seasoned flour again. You could do 2 bowls of this, but I'm just going to use 2 plates. And so I move all of my meat through the flour, put it on another plate, then run it through my egg wash, flour, and then move it back to the first plate. And you wind up with a vastly superior coating of flour on this. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a difference, but you'll see here in just a second a side by side of one that was fully coated and then one that was fully double coated, and it is night and day difference. And the end product is also a huge difference. And just lay these as many as you can fit in your air fryer. And I started out 5 minutes at 400 degrees, and then I flip them. You can go ahead and do 6 minutes though. I'm going to melt some butter here, and I'm going to put some MSG, some black pepper, and some garlic powder in it. And what I'm doing is I'm getting this hot so that I'm not adding like a lot of cold stuff to my already cooked potatoes when I go to mix them up. And in my mind, it just helps keep things from cooling off. And here you can see 5 minutes after I've cooked them, they don't look like they've changed a whole lot. That's why I said go ahead and go 6 minutes. You might get a little bit more color. We're going to stick them in. And if you can get your potatoes to where they're fork tender, they're done. Got them in here with this butter. And then I'm just going to mix them with a hand mixer because I'm old school like that. And as you can see, like still super hot. It would be great if you didn't have a nonstick pan. You could just do this in the pot that you've cooked them in. But since I've got like Teflon coated pans, you're not supposed to do that. So that's why I'm adding hot potatoes to hot butter. Now I do kind of add some cold milk here just to get everything kind of thinned down, which basically defeats the purpose of everything I just said. But at any rate, I'm doing the best I can here. These potatoes, they're super easy. Like I said, basically nothing crazy here, just some seasoning, and just cook them right. And I try and keep as little liquid in them as possible because you can always add more liquid, but you can't take any out. And just blend them till they're smooth and taste for seasoning. And here we are 12 minutes in on these. I did let them rest just a little bit, and they look terrible. Man, just go ahead and shallow fry these in a cast iron skillet if you want some good looking steaks. Now, they didn't taste bad. I was expecting them to taste an awful lot like raw flour. They honestly tasted like a steak biscuit, like that flour baked just like a biscuit, basically. I do wish I had some color to it because that is absolutely disappointing. Don't serve this to any of your friends or family unless you really don't like your friends or your family. Luckily, mashed potatoes, killer. And like I said, the steaks tasted fine, but they would have been miles better had I just put some oil in a cast iron skillet and done them the way that I knew I should have done them. But I was trying to see if we could do this in an air fryer. And as you can see, like they came out perfectly done. It's just the crust is atrocious. So, can you cook country fried steak in an air fryer? Yes. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. I do, however, recommend you hitting that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and listening to my extra sultry voice this week. Hope y'all enjoyed.